What a week it has been, players. Not only have we had a new episode of Creature Commandos to look forward to, which we'll get into the next video, but we've been getting crumbs of Superman since Monday. They held a press screening for the teaser trailer and gave us a beautiful, absolutely ethereal motion poster with this, again, ethereal version of the John Williams Superman theme, just modernized or etherealized, as I say here. It's simply the iconic Superman anthem. I like how they take that, reform it for modern day. Then Wednesday, they dropped a teaser for the teaser trailer, which is a little OD, but we got the first look at the Daily Planet globe. If you do anything Superman Daily Planet and you don't use this big, beautiful golden globe, you are severely missing out on an inordinate amount of sauce. Okay, literally, it's like ordering a 10-piece nugget and you take down 6 with 1 pack of that BBQ. But in order to not be too much of an animal, you're trying to stretch out this drought that's going on in your barbecue cup when you could just open up that second cup, homie. That's what it's there for. We got Lois Lane and the Daily Planet crew and everyone's favorite, you know them, you love them, back shots. But this little snippet matched with the ethereal Superman music, set such an epic vibe. I love the tag look up. It's so perfect, like look up in the sky. Look up for this trailer coming later in the week. Look up in life, be hopeful, be optimistic. All the hope core stuff that is essential to get by in this crazy life. We had a preponderance of complaints about the color grading and cinematography and, you know, obviously parallels to The Flash. People were not loving the origin teal color grading, but I personally did not mind. Some people were saying that it was on some CW shit to try and disparage some of the footage, but it's like, don't disrespect Superman and Lois like that. And it's still like the first teaser of the teaser, so it's like, what are you even doing? But this morning, 7:55 a.m., I woke up after a delightful 5 hours sleep from staying up late to watch the new Creature Commandos, and I witnessed the Superman trailer as it dropped. Obviously, I loved it. Insane way to start off a Superman trailer, an introduction to Superman in the DCU in live action, crashing into the ground, hitting the Yamcha, bleeding, bruised, breathing fucked up, okay? I don't think we've seen Superman this vulnerable on the big screen off rip ever. He's incredibly powerful, but he can bleed, he can be hurt, which I think really humanizes him and makes it that much easier to relate to and feel for him. So they started off amazingly in my opinion. It also begs the question, you know, who the hell could do this to Superman? More on that later, but that spliced with Clark Kent, I love it so much. David has totally gotten down the mannerisms, the posture of Clark Kent, plus with that baggy suit, he's totally unsuspecting as the Man of Steel. I like that they emphasized that in the beginning as well. We also got a bit of Lois and Jimmy Olsen in there if you look close enough. A clip of Kent Farm with Jonathan Kent looking like he's tearing up. It looks like they're having a very heartfelt moment here. About what? I'm not sure, but I'm just hoping that Martha is okay. I know Superman will be okay because he just called one of the goodest boys of all good boys, Krypto the Superdog. Yes, a James Gunn trope of having an animal in the film, and yes, it's 1000% welcome. Gunn had said that they will be exploring a lot of Silver Age stuff, which truthfully, I have not read so much Silver Age Superman. I'm on a 90 Superman kick right now, but I read Superman 150 the other day just to get some Silver Age in there, and it is wacky as hell with robots and dragons and whatnot, so I'm all for them going heavy with the sci-fi comic book craziness. The Silver Age being from like 1956 to 1970, and then after that it's the Bronze Age, and then now we're in like the modern. So with Krypto being one of those Silver Age editions, I'm all for it. And the whole Take Me Home line, even just for whatever reason, I don't know if it's because of the music, the whole trailer, it just feels so sentimental. You know, Superman saving the little girl, punching through the glass in that weird ass place, comforting what might be Helix. Like, it's a robot, but the worry for life, the concern for life, or what might even be like sentience is fully conveyed, which is so Superman. Like, that was a big gripe with Cavill. Like, so many people are trying to call hypocrisy right now because he didn't really smile much. And obviously we have no idea how much David's gonna be smiling in this movie. I imagine it's gonna be a fair bit, but David doesn't smile much in this teaser, but I already feel so many more emotions conveyed with his performance. I think the time as Clark Kent and seeing him already damaged was very effective because he's always on that damn Juilliard. Fighting a fucking kaiju, which is just epic. I love a kaiju. Actually, I can't get enough of them. Besides all that amazing stuff, I really like the Chloe stuff. It seems like they are very well into their relationship, and it's just awesome to see that. Again, it just feels like there is such a palpable chemistry, okay? So I'm gonna have to wait for the movie, right? But it's like I'm feeling things. Can't get enough of them. The whole trailer, it just evoked so much emotion, but like this kid putting up the flag and basically praying for Superman has got to be my favorite part of the trailer. Like this sweet, innocent little kid in this, you know, war zone with this just purity, this faith in this figure of Superman to save him. The emotion it evokes is insane, and how much you hope Superman is there to save this little kid on July 11th. Okay, I don't want anything to hurt this this little kid. Apart from Big Blue, we see some other heroes as well. I gotta say, I do not get the Guy Gardner slander. Besides the suit, which seems very clearly a plot device, the bowl cut is accurate as hell, and I love how the Lantern's powers look already. Isabella Merced can do no wrong in my opinion, and she has a pretty cool shot here. I'm sure she's about to give the kaiju a big whack on the top of the head. A lot of camera movement, feels reminiscent of Guardians 3 for me, which is a good thing obviously. Eddie Gathegi looks incredible as Mr. Terrific. That T-mask goes hard, and we gotta see some T-spheres in action against some For All Seasons inspired Luthor bots. I legit thought Zordon from Power Rangers until I realized this was Metamorpho. I like how they're going practical, which just looks pretty damn good. I imagine maybe Lex might be using him to create kryptonite and maybe for different materials for science experiments. I like how Gunn said Lex is so smart, a scientist, he's almost a sorcerer. Could we be getting like a Scooby-Doo 2 magic and science type weapon that'll weaken this guy up enough to put him on his ass like this? Also, we get to see the big bad baldy Lex Luthor, played by the great Nicholas Hoult. He is such an amazing actor, and already just from the time you see him, you're like, is this fucking Kendrick Lamar right now? Cause Lex Luthor has a lifetime invitation to the Player-Haters Ball with the sheer disdain he has on his face in these first few frames. Lex had this footage converted into 4K, and it's playing in all of his offices all over the Luthor Corp Tower. Just seeing the Big Blue mofo zipping around like that is enough to make him sick to his stomach. I like the Luthor Corp thing that they're doing. It's not as self-absorbed as Lex Corp, so I wonder what they're trying to emphasize here with that, like his family and his family's name. Plus the building went hard, reminding me of like TASM type CGI for some reason, which the CGI for those movies was the best part of those movies. I still have no idea what the movie will even really be about from this trailer. It's a teaser, that makes sense, so I think most of the general audiences will still be curious and intrigued. And I mean, the trailer is doing amazingly. Like, I think it got like 24 million views in like 24 hours, and I think it already crossed 1 million likes, which is just awesome. So there is some kind of curiosity, and I think it's only gonna build from now up until July 11th. Obviously, Lex is the big bad and is orchestrating everything bad behind the scenes for the most part, but some of the things we can extrapolate from things we've seen and that Gunn has said about the movie, one being that it is inspired by Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, which admittedly I haven't yet watched in totality, but intend to finish very soon. I have hella time Christmas week, so you know I'm gonna try to finish Sopranos, catch up on extra reading, and definitely catch some extra flicks, this being one of them. But the movie is supposed to be about a guy getting a position in Congress and being very excited to make change and realizing how corrupt and shitty it is once he actually gets in, and seeing how they attack him for his yearning for change and good change, and why change is made so impossible by the system. And like, that optimism that can so easily be conflated with naivete is a huge element. So I think that, plus what James had said about superheroes always having been a thing in the world of the DCU, and up until now we've seen a very stark uptick in them and their presence, and they've kind of become a problem. So I imagine Lex, with his wealth and his company heroes like the Engineer and Ultraman Ulysses character, we know Maxwell Lord with the Justice League International, and then we have Metamorpho with Stag, and I'm sure Superman, who is the one superhero who isn't represented by some company and on, you know, a payroll, will come through, and all of these companies, but especially Lex, will rain hell in the media about Superman, just crazy Superman slander in the end. But ultimately, with Superman in the end winning people over, that's the gist that I'm getting. The whole cast has been taking nothing but doves with lots of the comments they've been making about their characters and the movies, and apparently Gunn was going to go no Trunks, but David Cornsweet said he wanted them so that this incredibly powerful being would make people, especially kids, unafraid of him, which is such a good explanation on why to still use the Trunks. Personally, I do think they can be silly, but so are most comic designs. But it's Superman, like, he still wears them to this day in the comics, and they are iconic. It's a Superman thing. I think a lot of detractors hate the Trunks more than there are people that don't mind if they're there or not, which is just insane. Like, how do you hate the character that you're supposed to love? I like that you can take something silly and rock it with full confidence, not being ashamed of your roots. I think the early X-Men movies really influenced that idea in me as a kid of like, okay, these are the X-Men, and the movies and the characters were good and compelling for the most part, but they look 0% like they did for the majority of their comics, and it seems like they are kind of ashamed of the way that they look. And so when we started getting comic book movies with very close adaptations to the source material, you know, there was an effort being made, but paired with movies that were taken seriously, I was like, it can be done, and it's awesome. So I love that they went for the OG look, and I fully expect them to give him more suits and looks in the future without Trunks, and I'm excited for that too. Like, it doesn't really have to to be that complicated as some people are making it. Some miserable people. But again, I think my only complaint is that we didn't get a full clean look at the suit. We either see it all covered in soot or he's in like a position where it's obscured. I think that's definitely something to look forward to. I don't mind the color grading. I think maybe they could have upped the warm tones. I think that lends itself more to Superman, but I'm just all around so damn excited for this movie, guys. I dropped money. I sure as shit did not have to be spending on some new merch that just dropped yesterday. It's like, I'm not gonna not get this shirt, okay? It's pure sauce. It's going to have some steep competition where it's placed in between a Jurassic World movie and the Fantastic Four, but if any one of those should be able to stick it out and persevere and actually make like a huge impact, it's gonna be Superman, okay? So overall, I love the teaser and I'm expecting the first official trailer to have plenty of dialogue and exposition at the Super Bowl. You know, there's a pun in there somewhere, which I will say is intentional. The marketing is about to go super hard, but let me know what y'all thought of it. Did it live up to the hype? Did you expect more or less? Thoughts on the electric guitar score versus the more orchestral score from the motion poster? Any predictions as well? I'm all ears. But that's pretty much it. If you liked the video, leave me a thumbs up, comment down below, and if you want to subscribe, I always appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope all of you guys are well, and I'll see you in the next one.